You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Hazelton family is outraged over the sentence handed down to the man who struck and killed 15-year-old Hector Padilla last summer. 38-year-old Gabriel Hernandez Mendez hit Padilla while he was riding his bike last June along South Poplar Street. Mendez fled the scene, but turned himself into authorities nearly a month later. He pled guilty to homicide by vehicle, while prosecutors withdrew the most serious charge of accidents involving death. Mendez was sentenced to serve 1 to 2 years at the Luzerne County Prison. Padilla's aunt Katie Ovales said she didn't think the sentence was fair, while Padilla's father Pedro suggested that Mendez's family connection to former Congressman Lou Barletta is what led to the lenient sentence. Mendez is the father of Barletta's grandson. District Attorney Sam Sanguadolce explained that the plea agreement and decision to drop the charge was based on the evidence and not any of Mendez's connections. Mendez was also granted immediate work release, which allows him to leave the prison to go to work and report back at night to serve his sentence. A bench warrant has been issued for former State Attorney General Kathleen Kane. A Montgomery County judge issued the warrant following Kane's arrest for driving under the influence in Scranton back in March. The DUI charge puts her in violation of probation terms from her 2016 conviction for perjury after she leaked grand jury information to the media. She was sentenced in October of 2016 to serve 10 to 23 months in prison, followed by 5 years probation, and was released from prison in November of 2018 for good behavior. She was forced to resign as Attorney General following her conviction. When Kane's bench warrant is served, she'll be notified of the violation and a hearing date will be set. If she's found to have violated her probation, it could be reinstated, or she may have to return to prison. 2 men were arrested and a large amount of drugs were found during a search of a Hazelton residence. The Hazelton Police Department Special Response Team and Patrol Division executed a search warrant at 852 North James Street, which resulted in the arrest of 36-year-old Francisco Orlando Rivera and 46-year-old Douglas Diggs. Officers found approximately 5 pounds of marijuana, 65 vape cartridges, THC edibles, suspected cocaine, over $9,700 in cash, and drug packaging materials. A handgun was also found that wasn't registered to any of the occupants. A Hazelton man will spend the next 1 to 2 years behind bars for trying to solicit sex from a minor. 35-year-old Oliverio Cortez Perez was arrested by Kingston police back in June of 2021 for soliciting sex from what he thought was a 15-year-old girl, who turned out to be an undercover officer. According to police, he began communicating with the girl back in March of 2021 and was taken into custody when he agreed to meet with her at the Wyoming Valley Mall. He pled guilty on December 7th to charges of unlawful contact with a minor and criminal use of a communication facility. He's also subject to register his address under the state's Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. Luzerne County Council approved the allocation of funds for the Hazelton Land Bank after voting was tabled 2 weeks ago. The Hazelton Land Bank will receive $500,000 from the county's share of the American Rescue Plan pandemic relief funding. The vote was previously tabled after some council members questioned if the land bank was properly formed. The acting chief solicitor told council last night that the land bank's operating in accordance with regulations. The City of Hazelton plans to use the funding to fix and clean up properties that are no longer in use and put them back on the tax rolls. The Land Bank Board's looking at numerous properties at the moment, including the former American Legion building on West Broad Street. Governor Tom Wolf joined the families of gun violence victims to end the ongoing crisis across the Commonwealth. Wolf's asking the Republican-led General Assembly to take action to save lives in Pennsylvania. He's addressed gun violence throughout his terms by creating a special council on gun violence, investing over $50 million in prevention programs statewide, and vetoing Senate Bill 565 and House Bill 979, which both would have put the lives of Pennsylvanians at more risk. Wolf's also asked for basic gun law legislation over the years to include reporting a stolen gun within 72 hours, background check requirements, safe storage of firearms, and the creation of red flag laws to protect those who may be a danger to themselves or others. A missing Monroe County girl was found safe by authorities in Virginia. 5-year-old Inez Folk was reported missing after her grandmother told state police she was taken by her biological mother at a Broadheadsville ShopRite. The mother, 37-year-old Courtney Folk, was only allowed to have supervised visits with Inez through Children and Youth. After PSP issued a missing endangered person advisory, both Inez and her mother were spotted on Tuesday at a gas station off of I-95 in Virginia. Lehigh Valley Children and Youth will be taking custody of Inez, while her mother remains in prison to await extradition to Pennsylvania. State police at Frackville are investigating a report of diesel fuel stolen near New Ringgold. J.W. Zaprozny Incorporated reported to troopers that the incident occurred prior to April 12th of this year. The company said that 600 gallons of diesel fuel were stolen from several pieces of equipment from a property along Summer Valley Road in East Brunswick Township. State police say they have video surveillance from the incident and are continuing to investigate. Pennsylvanians can save the lives of those who need an organ donation by adding 2 words to their IDs. WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker explains.
The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation came together with the Pennsylvania Department of Health and Pennsylvania organ donation organizations on the importance of adding the words organ donor on their driver's licenses or IDs.
Getting even more license or photo identification card holders to become organ donors would impact more lives than we can possibly imagine. That impact is really driven home when speaking to recipients, donor families, and the teams from the Gift of Life Donor Program and the Center for Organ Recovery and Education, or CORE, who have devoted themselves to this life-saving operation.
April is Donate Life Month, and National Donate Life Blue and Green Day was recently observed, where people wear those colors in support of organ donation organizations. Nearly 50% of driver's license and ID card holders are registered organ donors, while 7,000 Pennsylvanians await organ transplants.
It's more than words on a driver's license or a logo on a license plate. It is the greatest gift anyone can give. It is truly the gift of life. To all Pennsylvanians, I say, you too can play an active role in helping someone live a fuller, longer life by becoming an organ donor today.
Every 10 minutes, someone is in need of a life-saving transplant, and by registering as an organ donor, one person can save up to 8 Pennsylvanians. That is why it's extremely important that more Pennsylvanians register as an organ donor.
Every day, 20 people in the United States die awaiting a life-saving transplant. These statistics highlight the vital importance of staff at PennDOT's licensing centers and the work of everyone here today to promote awareness of this cause.
For more information on organ and tissue donation in Pennsylvania, or to sign up to become an organ donor, visit donatelifepa.org. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Coming up on WYLN News, a local pizza shop's making big moves, plus more on the 2022 Little League World Series. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonneau. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's WYLN forecast is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from J Zapata. Woo, woo. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos, enchiladas, nachos, flan, 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening of J Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Stars of Tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
A Hazelton area business will have the honor of serving their signature pizza at Knoebels Amusement Park. Family-owned Pizzite Cucina Siciliana in Cunningham has been chosen to dish out their New York-style pizza at the popular park this summer. The move was made after the Cesari family announced their retirement, which was a staple at the park for over 4 decades, making fresh pies for park goers. Pizzite posted on Facebook Monday saying that, quote, "The Knoebel family chose us to create a recipe to help them on their new journey, to have their own signature recipe for a fresh ingredient pizza." Signs posted at Pizzite say the location will be closed while the family's busy working on their new endeavor at Knoebels, and hope to reopen their Cunningham location by October. The Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce will soon be holding their first networking mixer of the year. The mixer will take place on Tuesday, May 3rd at Physical Therapy and Balance Center at Hazelton, which is located at 1077 North Church Street inside the Churchill Mall in Hazel Township. All chamber members, their guests, employees, and coworkers are invited to network with the Greater Hazelton business community during the free, casual, after-hours event, and encouraged to bring along their business cards to distribute while they're there. Reservations are required and can be made online at hazeltonchamber.org. The 2022 Little League World Series will be making its return at full capacity for fans and participants as it celebrates its 75th anniversary. Fans and international teams at all 7 divisions of the league's baseball and softball summer tournaments will be welcomed back to South Williamsport for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The series was canceled in 2020, and officials had to cancel plans for spectators in 2021 as well. The Little League World Series is planned for August 17th through the 28th at the South Williamsport Complex. Coming up on Eckley's News Choice, we bring back how to safely walk your pet in warmer temps on this Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. TJ's Chimney Service Professional and Complete Chimney Service cleans, rebuilds stainless steel liners, custom concrete poured chimney crowns, fully licensed and insured, all work guaranteed. Roofing services also available. Call 570-861-0027.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton, your ER partner.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome to Comedian U here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and it is Wellness Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And speaking of, we are on location here at the Health and Wellness Center in Hazelton with Megan Curry, who is part of the therapy department over here. Now, Megan, today we're going to be talking safety while walking your pets.
Yes.
And this is safety for both the pet owner and the pet themselves. So I guess we will start off with, what types of distractions might be out there that might deter the owner from, their dog?
Yeah. So, when you're walking your pet, a lot of people like to take their cell phone just in case they have to call someone. Everyone likes to have their cell phone, but it can end up being a distraction, actually. So a lot of people want to look at their cell phone, they're texting, they're typing, their dog is doing different things, running in the street, they could be going after another dog, they might be jumping up on a person, and you don't want your dog to do that. Your dog could pull you down with them, and then you end up with an injury. And so cell phones, anything extra in your hands, car keys probably should go in your pocket. Anything else, I know I've heard people walking with coffee. I don't know who walks with coffee, but but that's another thing that you want to avoid because it could spill. You could have all other kinds of injuries. It's just taking away from paying attention to what you need to be paying attention to. That's yourself and your pet.
And along the lines of walking, footwear. Footwear is huge, and footwear is not only huge for the owner walking the dog, but the dog's little paws, it might be a little hot for them. How should people, decide on when they should walk their dog or where they should walk their dog?
So when you're initially deciding if you're going to take your dog for a walk, you want to check how hot it is. Most of the time they recommend going in the morning or late in the afternoon when it's kind of cooler. If you want a quick check just to see if it's too hot for your dog, you can go out onto the concrete, actually, onto the blacktop, put your hand down, and if you can't keep your hand there for up to 5 minutes, your dog can't walk on the concrete without burning the pads of their feet. So if it's that case and you really need to take your dog out, you want to go in grassy areas where they don't have to walk on that concrete. For yourself, you want to make sure that you're wearing solid footwear. Sneakers are always good, anything that ties. Some people wear heavier boots. That's okay, but you don't want to wear heels, flip-flops. All of those things can increase your risk of tripping, falling. Then you could roll your ankle. You'll end up having to see the doctor, sprain your ankle, break your ankle. All of those things can happen.
And so we can also avoid these types of injuries as well. People don't even think about their hands and holding the leash itself. Now, I know my dog is 30 pounds. He's little, but he's ferocious. You know, he's all muscle, and if he finds a squirrel or something, he will dart. Right. He will go, and if I'm not paying attention, he could break my hand. So I couldn't imagine running with a dog that is bigger and then coming into one of those distractions. How should people be holding the leash to avoid like a hand injury?
Right, so you want to kind of gauge your dog. You have a bigger dog, if they're not so under control, you might have to change up what you're using. Sometimes you could use a harness, various kinds of collars, and that's stuff you can find on the internet. You could contact a dog trainer, whichever. But holding the leash itself, you want to put your hand actually through the loop and then grip onto the solid part of the leash, not onto the loop. You want to make sure it's not just around 2 fingers. You want to have it on your hand solid, and you can even wrap it around your hand additionally to make it more firm and solid so that it decreases the risk of it slipping right out of your hand and your dog taking off or pulling you down with it. The other thing you can do is keep the leash kind of shorter, keep them a little bit closer to you, and that'll prevent them from being able to have more leverage to pull you down. So you have more control over your dog if they're closer to your side, and they're less likely to drag you with them even if you are holding the leash right.
And while walking these dogs, it is warm outside. Well, it is hot outside. Yes. It's hot right now outside, very sunny, and people might not think about hydration as much. Now, not only for themselves, but your little pup is probably sweating too.
Right, yep. So you want to make sure that you have an ample supply of water for yourself and your pet, especially on longer hikes or longer walks, especially in the heat. You want to make sure that there's somewhere that you can access water or that you bring your own. So a backpack is a great way to carry some water. You can even put a little bowl in for your dog. They make little pop-out ones so it can hook on a keychain, but you can put all that into a backpack, and then that's still freeing up your hands to still focus on your dog. So you could take the backpack, you have your water, you got the dog's water, and you're set.
And now to kind of bring this all home, what's one of the biggest things that pet owners walking their pets should keep in mind, should consider, and make sure that they do so that, you know, the worst case scenario doesn't even come around?
Yep. You just want to make sure that you constantly have ample supplies of water. You check the temperatures before you go. Firm grip on the leash, good footwear, and then you want to make sure that you're really, really paying attention to what's going on around you. Regardless of the time, you want to watch for other people's dogs, kids, cars coming. Make sure you're on a sidewalk, just anything to maintain your safety and the safety of your dog as well.
It sounds just as easy as it is, you know, to avoid a situation than it is to get into one.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Megan, for talking pets with us today.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, it's not only you walking on these hikes, on these trails, in the grass, on the sidewalk, it is also your little furry loved one, and they matter too. Make sure you take their hydration into mind. Make sure you take your safety and their safety into mind as well. That's it for Wellness Wednesday here in Community and You. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton. The all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton, your partner in ER care.
Penn State Hazelton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing. backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at 647 State Route 93, Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania 18249 during regular business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, our own Chris Fulmer's leading the way again into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Chris Fulmer. So we mentioned earlier, you're an accomplished author. So you brought the book in today. Can we talk a little bit about the book?
Yes. After my sister's wedding in September 2014, I started thinking back on my life and wondering how far I'd come or so I decided to put it into words. It took 2.5 years of writing, rewriting, and all that, but I now have the finished result. Welcome back to Saturday Morning, an autobiography of life and autism, which is available for viewers on Amazon if they wish to buy it. I go over my life story, show as truthfully as I can, show the ups and downs, and pay tribute to my family members who I've found through genealogy I've come closer to, and between each chapter I throw in various commercial breaks, as they will, to go with the Saturday morning theme, listing my top various things, my favorite Saturday morning shows, my favorite holiday specials, my favorite John Candy movie since he's my favorite actor, the favorite places I've traveled to, those sort of things. I've sold, at last check, a little over 100 copies.
And can you give us a little preview of the book? Is that okay?
I guess I could read some part of it as thing. Okay, a little biased here, but if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan to the bone as I am, there's one thing you can absolutely agree on with other fans. The Dallas Cowboys are the ultimate villains. For some fans, there's a singular moment in time that leads to this mindset. For others, it's ingrained through family. I fall into the former camp for a clear-cut reason. Dateline, June 25th, 1992, the day Jerome Brown died. It was a sledgehammer blow struck to my chest to get that terrible news confirmed.
Perfect. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Chris continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.